Yeah, it's John G. Sutton here. Welcome to Tales from the Jails. I'll tell you one or two incidents, individual, unrelated incidents that happened during my time, that I witnessed during my time as a prison officer. It was let me start with this. The year was 1975. It was in Wormwood Scrubs, and working into Wormwood Scrubs came an officer, a recently recruited officer, by the way, who had formerly been in the 2-2 Regiment of the Special Air Service. So he was SAS, Special Forces. And he'd gone through the training school and he got posted to Wormwood Scrubs. And I was talking to him, about how it worked. And it was bloody freezing. I think it was January 1976, and it was really cold. And we were on night duty. That's where you go in, and there's nobody else in the wing. There's only you, one person, in a wing, a wing where they've got the segregation unit. They had two people in, one on the seg, one on the other side. Yeah, but generally speaking, the wings, you had one person in, and you had a principal officer, like an inspector, and a senior officer who was like a sergeant. And it was absolutely freezing. The first night I was on there, I was frozen to bloody death in C Wing, up and down C Wing, because there's no heating in there. There just isn't. It's cold. Yeah, anyway, this ex-SAS guy says to me, I can't put on this, it's ridiculous, this. He said, sort this out. So the next night, I saw him as we were waiting to be allocated our duties for the evening, for the night. And he had a big, dark, black, woolly jumper on underneath his uniform. And the senior officer came up to us and said to him, "That's not prison uniform, you must remove it." He said, "Look," he said, "it's bloody freezing in here." He said, "I'm not taking this off." He said, "The uniform you provided me with, it's just not adequate." He said, "No," he said, "I'm giving you a direct order. Take off that jump, you pull over, take it off and wear your prison issue uniform and get about your duties." So the fellow said, "I'll tell you what," he said, "I don't actually need this." So he took his hat off, threw it on the floor, took his jacket off, threw it on the floor, took his trousers off, took his truncheon out of his trousers, threw it on the floor, and in his underpants and his own jumper, he walked out of the prison. He said to the senior officer, "You can shove that right where the monkey shoves its nuts." I mean, that's how stupid some of the senior officers were, and the principal officers. Yeah, stupid. Because they didn't know how to actually work with people. I mean, if you would just, and don't forget, we're probably talking about -3, -5 in the wing, and the uniforms. All you got was a shirt, yeah, and you had these big jackets that got you, but they were freezing, didn't keep the cooler. Yeah. So off he went, and now never seen again. Left his uniform on the floor, said, "Open the gates." You can't keep, if somebody says, an officer says to you, "Open the gates, I'm going home," you've got to open the gates. Otherwise, it's false imprisonment. Seriously, I was working at Strangeways, and we were all at the gate ready to go home. It was about 25 past, 5:30, And I had a dental appointment, a late dental appointment, about 7 o'clock, I think, because I asked if they would see me, So we're all waiting to go on the gates, and the order came down, "Right, draw your keys again, get your keys. We're going back in, there's going to be a search." I said, "I'm not taking part, a lot of bullshit." I said, nobody's stolen anything. I said, they've just misplaced it. They'd misplaced a knife or something like that in the kitchen. I said, it's not been stolen. I said, it's just misplaced. They'll find it. I said, and I'm not going back in. I've got to go and I've got a dental appointment. I was in pain, you know. I had an abscess on one of the teeth at the back. Anyway, so I said, open the gate. I'm going home. Oh no, it's a direct order that I've got to go back into the prison. I said, and who's giving it? So this principal officer came up and said, I'm giving you a direct order to draw your keys and go back into the prison. I said, and I'm giving you a direct order. Open the gate. I am going home. I've got a dental appointment. I'm in pain and I'm not going back into there wasting my time on a goose chase. So they had to open the gates and I'd handed my keys in. Anyway, I went home, got my tooth sorted out, the penicillin and all that, and all the rest of it. And anyway, the next day I came in, governor's office, yeah, seriously. Norman Brown. And he says to me, Mr. Sutton, what's this about you demanding to be let out of prison, you know, let out of the jail when there's an emergency? And I said, there was no emergency, was there? I said, you tell me that they found that knife within 2 minutes of starting to look properly. I said, all they've done had been misplaced, fallen on the floor. And she said, well, yes, that's the case. He said, but you refused a direct order to go back in. I said, your principal officer doesn't understand that he cannot order me into prison. I'm not a prisoner. I'm a prison officer. And if I say open the gate, then the gate gets open. Otherwise, it's an offence known as false imprisonment. And he said, and will you do this again? Would you do this again? I said, if I have to do it again, yes. I said, because obviously you're appointing people into positions of authority when they don't fully understand what the level is. You know, there's a certain, you can't go beyond that. I said, but your staff didn't know that. I said, anyway, I've advised them now. They won't probably do it again. Get out of my office. But, you know, they didn't quite understand. I don't think they understood what they were really doing. You know, there are certain laws in this land. Some of them are quite strange, by the way. Especially I'm seeing what's happening at the moment. See, these things, they send you parking, speeding things, you know. You've got, you'll get 30% off. They're running it like a sale in DFS, yeah. They've sent me one. I've just written back on it, not guilty, in big black ink. There's the pen. Big black marker pen, not guilty. Sent it off. We'll see what happens. See, the thing is, if they want to accuse me of going 36 miles an hour in a 30 miles an hour zone, prove it. I'm not admitting it. I didn't do it. Not me. There's some strange stuff at strange ways, let me tell you that. I was on duty one night and it was in the postal allocation unit. That's K-Wing, G-Wing, H-Wing, I-Wing, yeah? The postal allocation unit. They had a YP wing as well. I was on duty there one night. There was about 3 of us, I think, because it's a fairly big unit, you know. H-Wing's got the segregation unit down there for young offenders, but basically, yeah, there was 3 of us, and it would be about, I don't know, 11:15, 12 o'clock, something like that, round about just before midnight, I believe, you know. And this officer came in. He said, "John, come on, watch this." I said, "What am I coming to watch?" He said, "This guy's wanking." He said, "Come on, you can see if you." I said, "Really?" I said, "Do you honestly think that I'm interested in going watching some postal boy playing with his todger?" I don't know what he thought. I mean, that was obviously one of the reasons he was in the place, you know, watching postal boys. playing with the Todgers. I don't know. Some strange people. I avoided him after that. I mean, who knows what next? Do you want to play with mine, John? Well, no, I don't. Tales from the jails. I sincerely hope you're enjoying this. Strange stories, some strange people. Yeah. Anyway, please, hey, subscribe. Get my book, Psychic Screw. Aha.